Hey guys, it is May 4th of 2022 and I wanted to do a market recap on some of the stocks and instruments I'm watching and also trading. But without any further delay, let's get into it. Just want to say that I'm glad to be back in Nashville. I've been home for the last 2 days seeing my kids and my wife, and I am loving it. I missed them so much. But unfortunately, I have to be going out on the road uh, tonight, tomorrow. So I'll be out for a couple of weeks, and that's how it is. That's how life is. So hopefully, the next couple of weeks I'll be back, and then I could just stay permanently put here and working. So without any further delay, let's get into it. This is a Nifty 50. This is a market I follow for my friends in India. And the last video I posted on this market was potential top will be possibly between April, May, and June. Right now we have this swing high on April. This is a weekly chart on the 4th. Keep an eye on it. I have a channel. There's going to be some support coming in here around 16, around there, which hopefully should hold. I got a couple of channels that I'm playing here, but this is the overall cycle that potentially could be a possible swing high. It could push lower, so just gotta keep it on your radar. So let's go on to the charts. First, we're gonna watch the Dixie, the US dollar, very strong. The only thing negative in this chart is that we got a crossover in the MACD on the daily. Other than that, it is very strong. Nothing bearish here. I know there's a Fed announcement today, so it's going to be interesting how that's going to play out. But so far, this thing is strong, and it could potentially continue going higher. We're going to go to Bitcoin. As you can see, Bitcoin on the weekly just fell off the Kumo cloud. Kumo cloud is negative. Linear regression channel is pointing lower. On the daily, it is pointing lower. You can see that here is just kind of chop fest. We're kind of like in a range between this 37 and all the way this high over here, 48. But showing weakness and just kind of just back and forth, just tight price action. On the daily, you can see chop fest on the MACD, and the value area low around here is at 37. Then you got this spike of 34. So it's kind of trying to hold there below most of the moving averages, and on the weekly is above the 100. This is looking similar also as the Ethereum chart. Let's go to crude oil. As you can see, crude oil now is kind of getting a bump on price action, just consolidating at a PPS sell signal, and it's just been like chop fest, but still strong. Linear regression channels are pointing up. You're above all the moving averages. Just kind of made that high of 138 or 130. What was that? Yeah, 130. And then it's just been chopped for like the last couple of weeks. You got a MACD cross, sell signal. And on the daily, the value area, point of control is at 103, and that's holding. The value area high is 111. So there's really a lot of resistance here. It's at 108 right here, resistance. So anywhere between 111 and 108 is going to be some headwinds. Once you break above that, then I can see it potentially maybe retesting that 130 high. So far, it's looking good. Like I said in Ethereum, there's a sell signal on the PPS. Linear regression channels are pointing lower, and you can see that right here. It's at the cloud. Let's close this. Resistance would be that 29.52, and point of control 29.44. Value area high 31.92. Right now it's just kind of consolidating, just kind of going sideways, and a little weaker. Let's see how this month will play out. Copper sold off really good. Now at finding support at the bottom of the linear regression channel. So if you're long copper or bullish copper, this would probably be like the entry points that you probably want to build up a position. In the short term, very weak. You can see that it's below the cloud, below the moving averages. Linear regression is pointing down. So it's kind of, depending on your risk, you want to risk, you could probably get into it here. I don't know what the cycles are, but short term, very risky, bearish, and on the weekly midterm, you got a nice little drop. for potential maybe popped, and maybe could continue going lower, or maybe could continue going higher. I can't really say because I haven't looked at the cycles on the chart. Natural gas looking very good, very strong. Took out that high of 646. We're now hovering around 847. Very toppy, past the linear regression channels, but so far looking strong. Very, very bullish on the daily. Looking very strong and very, very bullish. Can it go higher? Yes, it could continue going higher. So far it's in price discovery mode, and it's pushing higher, especially with all the stuff going on with Ukraine and Russia. That's why you see the volatility is strong. Silver, very weak, but potential for maybe finding a swing low. As you can see on the daily, it's kind of bottoming out here so far. Well, let's see. Yep, linear regression, but still bearish. That 24, very strong level of resistance. Corrective value area low, and linear regression channel is pointing lower. So it's not looking too good below the moving averages. On the weekly, it's finding support there above the 200, which is at 20, and value area low of 21 bucks. So if it pushes lower, I can even see it holding over here around 21. Once it gets there, if it's going to hold or fall, you got 20, which is a 200, and maybe that's going to bring some bulls, to purchase silver as a discount. I'm thinking about doing a video on gold. Haven't decided yet, but we'll see if I have some time. The AppHarvest, which I'm still long at 697, 607, not looking too good. Looks like it's gonna double test this low. Hopefully it holds, and if it's a failed new low, it shouldn't even test it or kiss it. It should just maybe continue going higher. So it looks like maybe this is a 1, 2, and now we're possibly going to work into a wave 3. That remains to be seen. It's just dealing with probabilities. But on both time frames, that $7 was resistance. Value area high, value area low was 506, and we failed. And looks like we may retest that 262 to see if it could hold. If it holds, then you have a failed new low. Then you got a potential maybe to push higher. It looks like there's a earnings report on the 3rd that just came. Cameco, CCJ, looking good so far in the weekly, even though we have a PPS sell signal. The 20 is there as support of 24. MACD is negative, and you can see that the cloud is still positive above, holding the moving averages, so that's good. Linear regression channel is pointing up, although you're below the mobile band and have a PPS sell signal. There's earnings report coming tomorrow, so I could potentially maybe see a pop, so hopefully it's good news. Could it be a dead cat bounce? It could possibly be, but price action is king. We'll see. Right now we're in the cloud on the daily. So it could get a little volatile right now. Possible resistance is at 26, and the point of control is at 28. So I could potentially see maybe a bounce since it's so oversold up. And then the question is, will it continue going higher to retest that 32? There's a lot of things I'm looking at, different models that could potentially say that it could retest it and fail. That remains to be seen. I'll probably just have to make a separate video on that, on what I'm seeing. So there's like a lot of potential possible outcomes on this instrument, but I don't want to get into it because this is a market recap. I'm not in Cameco. I'm on the sidelines of that. I got stopped out a couple of months ago. DNN, Denison Mining. I'm still long this stock, but you can see that on the short term, linear regression is pointing down. Price action is a little weaker. The Kumo cloud just turned negative on the daily, and you're about to fall off the Kumo cloud on the weekly. Big support will be this 106 right here. You're below the moving averages, got a PPS sell signal and a Tom D Mark 9th candle on the week of 411. So price action is a little weaker as of right now. The euro, pretty much the like pretty much a mirror of what the dollar is. I have a target for the euro of $1 and 4.14. It hasn't kissed that yet, but that's a target I have for it to go down. And so far right now it's going sideways. Very oversold. You got a crossover here, and it looks like it could probably be maybe basing, but very negative. Below all the moving averages, below the cloud. It's one of those things is you just have to wait for it to find, support and create a base for potential and distribution and accumulation to a phase to kick in, and then maybe trend higher. But the cycles pointing that maybe could continue pushing lower, or maybe just kind of bottom here. We'll just see, because they're different from like the dollar cycle. And the last one I have is HIVE. I got stopped out of HIVE. So I'm on the sidelines. I'm waiting to see. I got in at 170 and it couldn't hold at 150. So I don't know if this is going to push lower or find support. There is a lot of support here around the 200 SMA, which is at 112. But it's not, it's just, call it that low right here, 149. And you got below the 50 and the 20 and below the cloud. So, and we don't know what Bitcoin is going to do. So we'll see. It's kind of sideways to lower right now. You can see the chop fest on the MACD just going buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. Although the prices are just going lower. So I'm on the sidelines, just see what happens. If it starts, pushing higher and I see some volume and I see Bitcoin and Ethereum moving up, I'll get in. But as of right now, I'm just gonna watch it. Well, I'm gonna let you go. Hopefully you like this video, and I'll keep you posted on the markets I'm watching and the ones I got an eye on with market recap using a simple glance chart.